Are you ready to read? Like literally read some comics. So let me introduce, or actually, I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah.
But here we go. Welcome, everybody, to a very special Wine and Comics Pairing live reading. Live for us. You're going to watch the recording. But we are going to read a comic. We are actually going to read it. We are going to do the voices as we look at the pages and read you out a teaser of these comics. We are going to start with Mr. Lightbulb by Wojtek Wawszczyk. That's right.
Say that 5 times fast.
I Googled how to say that, yes. No, I knew, coming from a theater background, I knew the Wojtek play. And Wojtek is a little different because I believe Wojtek is with a CH and this is Wojtek. So it's Wojtek Wawszczyk. Blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be one of the first 2 selections of the Wine and Comics Blending Club, which is an online Amazon book club, a monthly book club where we read 2 graphic novels every month and pair them. And anybody can join this book club. Anybody can join the once a month Zoom. But let's start off with this reading. Wojtek Wawszczyk. He is a Polish animator. And this is the first graphic novel that he's done. He's predominantly an animator by trade. But in this case, he made a static image book. But it's really, really good. I picked this up on Free Comic Book Day. It was not a free comic. But it was when I was going to pick up my free comics at the comic shops, this was on the shelves and they had, I think it was 30% off all graphic novels that day as part of the big celebration of the event. And so I picked this up for 30% off. It just looked really intriguing. It's a big, thick book. It is 624 pages long, folks. Now it's kind of almost, it's not anime style because the animation style and even this guy's normal animation style is very, very different, but it is, the pages, it is not an oversized book. We're actually, let's just click in, these are kind of the size of the pages.
Yeah.
And as you can see, each one of these are not panels, these are pages. So it's like, it can go actually rather quickly as you read through it, but there are 624 pages in this bad boy. So
pour a very large glass of wine, people.
Exactly, pour a very large glass of wine. I've got a Rosso di Montalcino, not because this will particularly pair with this one. It's what I already had open. We had to film tonight, so.
Although I am curious, once we do finish this, I want you to let me know what you would pair the first 50.
Oh, I will. With. So there are 2 options, one white and one red from the blending lab. So I will tell you as soon as we are done reading. We are going to read chapters 1 and 2. Dallas is going to play the role of the mother, and I am going to play all the other roles because weirdly that's how this works out best with how active the mother is in these first 2 chapters. So this is going to roughly be the first, I believe, 60 something pages of the 624 page graphic novel. Here we go. Wojtek Wawszczyk, Mr. Lightbulb.
Mr. Lightbulb.
Chapter 1. Start off on a black screen. It starts to resolve. It is smog. We see that we're in this industrial town.
Industrial cityscape. Okay.
Industrial cityscape. This is the Polish animator, so this is probably replicating Eastern European. Yeah.
Maybe referencing the mid 80s. Okay.
And we see here's a bus. Whoop, going too fast. Here's a bus. Here's someone wearing a iron worker face shield. You get off the bus, head towards these apartment buildings, taking an elevator up, where she finally takes her medal off. And this is the mother, but someone off screen says, "Home already? How was it at the steelworks?"
A hard night.
I'm just off to work.
Someone's woken up. It's all right, my little sweetie pie. Mama's here now. I'm on night shift again this evening. Will you be able to get home before midnight?
Sure will. He's my son too. I'm off.
Wait. Show me your foot. What's that?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing? What happened? You must go see a doctor.
It's nothing. I flattened it at work. Nothing's wrong. Give me a break. And that is quite a flattened foot.
That's quite a flattened foot.
Slam.
Slam.
Wah.
Take care of yourself.
And then
Good
mother
panel.
and child
Good panel.
fall asleep. Yeah.
Good panel.
Later on, my mom told me we were a happy family. And here's night. There's their bedroom, panning out.
I like that shot. Wow.
And then panning in, here's the father at his work. You can't quite see this yet. You'll see this later, but this building that he works in is in the shape of a giant iron, like clothing iron. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get carried away by my emotions. It's like everything keeps weighing on me. The heavy gray sky.
There. Now at least you won't keep tipping over.
Tripping. Yeah, and so she's rolled up his flattened foot into a little what do they call those holiday cakes?
Cinnamon roll. It's a cinnamon
roll. It's a cinnamon roll. But what are those ones that have like the cream filling, in between, and then they roll the cake over it? Oh, what do they call? Like Yule logs or something like
Yule
that.
log, or they call that it'll come to me. Anyway, go on.
It'll come to you. Anyway, his foot is now that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Roulade.
And thank you.
Time to go?
Unfortunately, I'm off. And then we see a little bouncing soccer ball, and of course, baby wants his dad to stay. And there he is kicking the ball. Bravo, you're doing great. Again. Next time, I have to go to work now. And we start to see a theme developing here. I have to go to work. Empty dad chair. And the son just looking on. The armchair in my dad's room seemed emptier by the day. And he draws home.
Aww.
A budding animator, as you can see. And I should mention, this comic is apparently semi-autobiographical to the creator. And the mother says,
"What time will you be back? I have to leave soon."
"I'll be late tonight too, unfortunately. I've got a whole stack of shirts to press." "Yes, for the whole crew." But you know what a small iron I have, and I want to do it well. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Delivery at this hour? From the boss? It's a promotion. And it's a giant motherfucking iron. No longer has such a small iron. And now you can see the shape of this building much more clearly. Here's this giant iron building, and there he is toiling away at. And it's funny, he always seems to work like it's like he's the graveyard shift at an iron factory, iron factory, iron shop. I like the absurdity of that.
That is absurd.
What time will he be back?
He's still working flat out, flattening. What's this? Yes. What's happened? What? When? Okay, I'm on my way. Stay here. Dad's had an accident.
We see the kid huddled up, waiting. I listened to the elevators. They rarely stopped on our floor. My mom had a weird roll tucked under her arm. The roll turned out to be my dad. Oh. What happened, Mama? And you can read this part because this is the mom narrating. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. My dad had taken on too big a task using too big an iron. When suddenly, slip, ow, what?
Oh, that's
and he transforms. And
that's how he flattened himself.
Will he get over it?
I don't know, son. I must dash to the steel works. Have you had your dinner?
No.
You'll find something in the fridge, okay? Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, son.
But then she dashes back, yes. Bye-bye, son. Bye, Mom. Chapter 2. Whoop. When I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark and the sounds of elevators stopping. I was afraid that when one of them stopped, murderers would leap out of it and kill my parents, and I'd have to watch it happen. I love that. It's such a kid thing, right? It's like, they're not going to kill me. They're just going to make me watch me kill. All the bad things happen to adults. Nothing, bad things don't happen to you. But the horrible thing is I have to watch it happen. But from then on, I started to be afraid of something else too. What it was going to be like to have a pancake dad. And he's having fun.
More fun, more pancake dad fun. Wow. Yeah.
At least my dream of my dad spending more time at home had come true. Dad was laughing at something. Maybe it was something on the radio. I remember what Grandma had often told me. When you're afraid of something, snuggle up to the wall and pretend you're not there. So I pressed and snuggled, and it worked. I hid inside the wall.
Oh.
There's his little foot sticking out, I think. And then here comes the mother in her steelworks helmet.
I'm home. Sonny? Are you still asleep? Oh.
And there's his
she
foot.
grabs him out of the wall.
Reaches in. Yeah, pulls him out.
I love the absurdism there. I'm so sorry. Starting tomorrow, I'll take you to work with me. I promise you'll never be left alone again.
Next day at the steelworks, here they are watching this. This is a very like Alien 3, kind of setup. So you can see that all happening.
There's no fooling around with hot metal, red hot metal.
But it's so pretty.
You're 6 years old now. You're a big boy. Don't go too close.
Okay, Mama. Then, of course, he swings on the bars right over the things.
Immediately.
And as I watched Mama hauling huge buckets full of red hot metal. And there she is hauling it all. And as he's sitting there watching her and gaping, here comes a little bulb. Oh, Mama.
What's up?
I think I swallowed a big glowing booger. And at the doctor's, they take a little x-ray.
Well, doctor?
My colleagues and I have examined your son, but we're not sure what to make of it. Please take a look at the x-rays. The molten metal has entirely burnt out his innards. He's completely hollow.
How come he's not falling over? Shouldn't his body be all floppy?
Good question. It looks as though the metal solidified and formed a sort of scaffolding. See here, it's those 3 little wires.
And what's the reason? Why he's
not dead? Yeah? What I'm wondering is what mother in her right mind would take her child to a steelworks and leave him unattended, exposing him to lethal danger.
We have a difficult situation at home. My husband.
Ah, I see. You'd rather blame your son's condition on this difficult situation than take responsibility for it. Gotta love, this is the whole, like, what's the term? The condescending to the poor, right? It's like the people who have to do what they have to do because there's no other way. And we're like, there must be, of course you had options. You just chose poorly. Right. Anyway, there's a way out of it. See, there's a way out of every difficult situation, ma'am. Here's a prescription to stop the wires inside from rusting. For the question on why he's still alive, how on earth should I know? I'm just a doctor.
Of course.
And there they are walking back to the apartment together. Chapter 3. And that's where we're going to pause there. That is the beginning. And that is, even though you haven't seen any more yet, those are the beginnings of the origins of Mr. Lightbulb.
All 600 pages, right?
624. Yeah. So it's a really fantastic graphic. I'm so glad I picked this up. I'd never heard of the guy before. I'd never heard of the graphic novel before. It's published by Fantagraphics. So
when was it released?
2022.
Oh,
I want to say.
Oh, all right.
And that's it. So it might have been published in even in Poland in 2022. All right, cool. So that is Wojtek Wawszczyk, Mr. Lightbulb by Fantagraphics, published in 2022. For the Blending Lab wines, I pair this bad boy with, I believe you have a white and a red. I actually took this with me their final weekend before they closed last weekend, before we filmed this. I took this with me to the winery and I did 2 flights so I could taste 6 different wines and try them all out while reading it. Yes.
Nice.
So I confirmed, like there were a few that I was like, maybe, and I was like, nope, does not work at all. Wow. So the white wine that does work with this is the one they recently released, their Sauvignon Blanc Viognier blend. That was fermented and aged in, fermented, not really, it wasn't really aged, but fermented in concrete. So it gives this wonderfully stony, minerally flavor. But Sauvignon Blanc and Viognier are both grapes that, they're known for high acidity, but they're also known for a lot of tropical fruitiness. Yeah. And they definitely have, and these are grapes from Paso Robles, California. So they're grown in warm weather. They get that tropical fruit in there. You get pineapple, you get mango, you get guava. But then with that minerality, which is, I think that's what this graphic novel, it's fun, it's whimsical, it has that animation quality to it in terms of like, we're going to make this hard subject matter as easy to digest as possible. Like we're going to make it almost like a fun children's story, but at the same time, there's a lot there to digest. Okay. And it's kind of a dark fable in its way. And so you need you need the challenge, but you need the easiness too. You need that fruity quality to it. Because I tried this with the Chardonnay Albarino, which is personally my favorite white at the Blending Lab, but it was too austere. It didn't, it was too pure mineral and salinity. And very, it's more like the Chardonnay Albarino comes across as more like green apple and kiwi, and it's like it's all tart and bright. There's a
tartness.
And when I say green apple, I do not mean Golden Delicious. I mean Granny fucking Smith. Exactly. It's your pucker, the sour tart, your pucker factor. I love that in a white. That is my favorite white. The Sauvignon Blanc Viognier is more tropical fruity, which is not my bag personally as much, but when reading this while sipping that Sauvignon Blanc Viognier, it was perfect. I mean, it just jived. Like everything about it, I was like, this is what I need to drink while reading this. On the red side.
Okay, I think that.
Yes. Yeah. Now, on the red side, they have a blend. This is one of their 2019 blends. So it came out last year. It's not one of their recent releases, but they still have plenty of it. And it is a Zinfandel, Petite, Sirah, Mourvedre, Grenache. It's a nice long
when was
complex blend. 2019. You have had it. We've both had it.
Okay.
Now, similar to the, I think they had it out. It was their Valentine's Day blend this year. They brought back out, and they were like, because it has this the Zinfandel and the Grenache, I think especially from that year, have this very strawberry, sweet fruit. It's very fruit forward. But then the Mourvedre and Petite Sirah on the back end, like it has a bitterness in the aftertaste. It finishes with this sourness that is not unpleasant, but it is definitely like when that first hits you at the front, and then even to the mid palate, it's all wonderful, a tasty, soft fruit. And not even, and it's strawberry. It's not even raspberry. It's strawberry, baby. I remember it's that. Like it's nice, gentle summer romance, that type of thing. And then, but then it just slides into this bittersweet, sour, tart element where all of a sudden it goes into cranberry, rhubarb, like bitter herbs. Like, I mean, it has some complexity when it finishes off. And that also matched perfectly with this one, where you need both. You need that soft, easy, wonderful start to it, but then that little bit of complexity that hits you on the back end. And those two things together, that's what made this one work for me. Whereas anything that was too complex, too complicated, too like, you don't want a wine that makes you think too much. You need to be paying attention to the graphic novel. And the graphic novel is, again, it's fast, like it's fast paced in its way because you're flipping pages. It's not a dense read, right? So you're like, things are happening. When things happen, they're absurd and crazy, a little scary, a little depressing, but still kind of fast and furious. And I think whimsical is a good word. It's like, it's dark and depressing, but whimsical at the same time. And so you have to have those two components in the wine as well, or it just winds up feeling off the whole time you're sipping it. So those are the two that we're going to recommend.
I like it.